Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Uh, Thanks for want to thank everyone for watching my stuff during the month of October. Um, for those who didn't know, back in around August or September, I had done a sort of poll which two top franchises did you want me to review, and they were the Elm Street and the Leprechaun films won. So hopefully you guys enjoyed those. I enjoyed watching Elm Street, but Leprechaun, well, you know. By the way, someone asked me about Mimic. Just want if that person's watching, just let you know I did review all the Mimic films. If you guys want to know if I reviewed a horror film franchise, I know there's a lot to go. Like I know someone was asking about Poltergeist. That'll be down the. That won't be anytime soon. I mean, there's quite a few other stuff I want to review, but I mean everything that people say I want to get sometime down the road. It's just there's so many movies and so little time. But thank you guys for watching and hanging in there. Um, but yeah, I have a horror film franchise playlist, and I have like the Mimic films. I reviewed those, among other films. Those are on the playlist. And I just added the Elm Street and the Leprechaun films onto the playlist because those are horror film franchises I reviewed. But anyway, this was want to do a quick little video for a guy named studioredband. Asked me a quick question of if I could talk about this documentary called I Am Nancy. I said, oh, yeah, sure, because it does deal with Nightmare on Elm Street. And Nightmare on Elm Street, as you know, I reviewed all the Nightmare on Elm Street films from the first one through Freddy vs. Jason and the remake. I reviewed Never Sleep Again a long time ago, but real quick, like Never Sleep Again, I really enjoy the documentary. It's I also reviewed the extras, the unreleased extras DVD. But the Never Sleep Again documentary, I think that's a really good one. The first disc is 4 hours long. The second disc has a lot of extended interviews. You have a look at the Nightmare on Elm Street video game for Nintendo. You have it's like who's the big Freddy fans and about the glove and a lot of cool stuff on there. Very good documentary. May have little nitpicks, uh, like, well, at Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, I want to know where the fuck is that piece of music when Alice is getting ready. Like, they don't even talk about that scene when Alice is getting ready in front of the mirror in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. That piece of music that's in my intro for my channel. But, there's a little nitpicks, but it's still really a damn good documentary. Now, we get to this one. The reason I said all that is that on that DVD, there is a teaser for another documentary called I Am Nancy. Now, I Am Nancy, I guess overseas it was called Never Sleep Again 2, I Am Nancy. This came out, what was it, 2010 or so? I can't remember exactly the date. 2011, I can't remember. Now, I will admit I watched this on YouTube because it was made, I guess it was made, I don't know, Heather Langenkamp's like website or some other person's website, but it wasn't a widespread release. The only way you can own it is there's one copy on Amazon for $25, or if you go on eBay, there's like a Blu-ray from overseas. It's like one's like 40 some dollars, and one's like 20 some dollars. So I watched it on YouTube. It was all in one go. And yeah, I would like to own the documentary because I have the Never Sleep Again unreleased extras, but I'm not paying $25 because to be honest, I like this documentary, but it's not worth $25. But you can watch it on YouTube in one go. Just type in I Am Nancy and you'll find it in there. Because the documentary is pretty short. It's an hour and 13 minutes long. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, okay, Never Sleep Again costs less. It's cheaper. And that's a 4-hour documentary. Plus a second disc with a lot more hours. I Am Nancy is an hour and 13 minutes. But maybe because it's, but still it's not worth $25. But I still liked it because it's a documentary that Heather Langenkamp helped make with someone. of course, about her character Nancy. And really, I've been sort of pussyfooting for 5 minutes because I like the documentary, because I like Heather Langenkamp. I love her character of Nancy. You're not going to learn much from the documentary. It's more about the fans, talking to the fans, dealing with the fans talking about why they love A Nightmare on Elm Street, and how they first saw it, and you know, when they saw it, who they told to see it, whether it be their younger brother or such, how it affected them, and also what they think of the Nancy character. And I like Heather Langenkamp, and she seems like a very nice person. And it was nice to watch. I mean, nice enough for me. I like to own it sometime, maybe like DVD-R or something. But I almost want to use the word fluff piece, because even this kind of stuff, I would say like Trekkies and Trekkies 2 did that kind of stuff better. Or at least were a little bit more interesting. But this, being a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street and Heather Langenkamp, this was, it was worth a watch. If you're a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, you're a fan of Nancy, and you're a fan of Heather Langenkamp, it's worth one watch at least. And again, you watch it on YouTube. It's in one go. But like Heather Langenkamp goes to this guy who getting a tattoo of Freddy, and Heather's watching, and it talks about, she kids around a lot. Oh, you don't get a Nancy tattoo, and the fans talk about Nancy, and she goes to these conventions, talks about how these huge lines for Robert Englund, but then there's like no one at her line. And that's kind of a thin line, because if you do it the wrong way, it could be like, oh god, this is an ego trip to sell her ego, and she's whining, complaining, blah blah blah. But that doesn't come across at all. It's very much tongue in cheek. It's very much tongue in cheek, very much for fun, and we're kind of in on the joke. And it was fun to watch it. The people come, like there's a who come to see her at the convention. Like there's a deaf girl, there's a girl in a wheelchair, there's a girl who talks about celery. Um, she goes around the convention looking at the Freddy toys, is wondering, how come there's no Nancy toys? Like there's no Nancy cutouts, and the guy says, well, I write to them, they never email me back. Oh yeah, here's a one Nancy toy with her in the bathtub, and looks nothing like her, and they were discontinued. Um, they talk about, the how you see that people just come up to her with machetes and razor blade gloves for her to sign, and she doesn't really say anything. But I'm thinking, damn, that's weird. Do you think someone come up to you with a weapon? Could you sign? It's like, hey, here's a gun. Can you sign my gun? They say, hey, can you sign? Which is weird with the guy coming up here with a machete. I'm like, why a machete? You got the wrong franchise. It's Jason. But like she talks to a person who is actually the guy who played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 3, who unfortunately is no longer with us. I believe his name is Richard Brooks. Might have said his name wrong. If so, I apologize. But I did love his response where he looks at her, he's like, where's Robert? Just the look on her face was pretty funny, I thought. And what's nice is that she talks to Robert Englund about it, and it's very candid conversation. And she shows him the toy in the bathtub, and he goes, "Yeah, I think you should feel bad about this toy. It looks nothing like you." Uh, and she also interviews with Wes Craven. They're having fun, and I really like this part where she goes, "Is there any way that Nancy could supersede Freddy?" And I thought Wes Craven, again, it looks like they're having fun. It looks like Wes Craven really doesn't know what to do, because it's like, what can I say about Nancy? I mean, what can I say about? I have to say that he's having fun. Like, yeah, there's a dialogue where he goes, well, you gotta buff up, you gotta get a pooch haircut, and you gotta learn to operate an AK-47. Like, he said a very dead face, like, you gotta buff up, you get a butch haircut, and you gotta learn to operate an AK-47. She's like, yeah, I can do that. I like that in the background they have like then they have a picture I think it's like from Resident Evil Afterlife, but they put like Heather Langenkamp like screaming with the. I thought it was, again, being a fan of Heather Langenkamp and I'm on Elm Street, it was fun to watch the fans talk about stuff. It was nice to see Heather Langenkamp, who just seems like a very nice person. And then you have this nice story about this girl in the wheelchair who went through a lot of troubles, but then she watched Nightmare on Elm Street and learned from Nancy, the character, that helped her out, and actually Heather Langenkamp tears up a bit. You learn that a big, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration for Nancy character was actually Wes Craven's daughter. Wes Craven's daughter, who said when she watched Swamp Thing, "Why is that girl tripping? Girls don't trip all the time." So she was the Wes Craven's daughter was the inspiration for Nancy, and they actually Heather Langenkamp talks to Wes Craven's daughter. Uh, Nancy finally finds someone, actually a woman, who has a Nancy tattoo like down her leg. And I like this little effect they do. They look at the tattoo and they do this little special effect so the mouth of the tattoo goes, "Cruder, Cruder." I thought that was nice. It's a fluff piece. That's why I say it's not worth $25 online. It's not worth that much money. I mean, I would pay maybe $5 or something. But it's an hour and 13 minutes, so it's very short. It's a fluff piece because you're not going to know anything that you didn't know from A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just more about the fans, what they feel about it, her being at this convention, seeing some of the Freddy merchandise, and talk about the Nancy character. And yeah, I would like to own it. So maybe, if, you know, put a DVD-R sometime or something. Maybe I'll ask my friend Mike, OCP, make me a DVD-R of it or something. Uh, or something like that. Because again, $25 is just too much money. It has like one copy on Amazon. But again, if you find it on YouTube and give it a watch, it's again, it's a fluff piece, but it's for fun. It's fun. It's entertaining to watch for me because again, liking A Number on Elm Street and liking the Nancy character and Heather Langenkamp, um, it was cool to watch. It was nicely put together. It was never boring. It's only an hour and 13 minutes. Like the opening, you see a lot of the media that references Freddy, whether it be the, not Looney Tunes, but Tiny Toons, and I think 30 Rock, and Dragnet, and I think the Chris Rock show, and or not the Chris Rock show, but what was the one that it was like him as a boy? I forget what the hell it was. I didn't watch it that much. It might not have been that show at all. But they used pieces of media that references Freddy. Like I like the way it was put together. I thought it was put together well, and it was fast paced, and it was fun to watch. But either way, I don't know what more I can say. Check out I Am Nancy if you want. Again, it's not too much of your time. Um, Either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.